Hi everyone, it's Anmahia here and we are going to be doing another ovaries class and for this class you need the chair. So we're going to mostly be staying on the chair and make sure you have a glass of water nearby and you're wearing comfortable clothing, and as I always say, if you have any underlying conditions that you can't do certain things, just make sure you're doing them with caution and stay away from things that flare up your pain. So it's a nice easy upper body mobility focus today, and we're going to move your arms, and then towards the end we'll stretch a little bit the legs because we'll be sitting down. So grab any chair, make sure you're nice and comfortable. If you have any balance issues, make sure you have the chair right against the wall just in case. You're going to come up a little bit the chair, so you won't be sitting completely towards the back. Try and come a little bit unsupported so that your feet are flat onto the floor. You should start off with making sure your knees are in line with your hips and your shoulders are on top of the hips. So starting off a little bit to give you an awareness, a bit of your posture. So a lot of the times we either tend to slouch or be a little bit too far forward. So what you want to try and do is figure out where you should really be. So an easy way to do that is place your hand underneath your bottom and just feel your pokey bones poking into your hand. So you should, if you go forwards and backwards with your weight, you should feel a difference of where your weight is. Now, if you go too far forwards, it's almost like it disappears, pressure off your hands. If you go too far backwards, it disappears as well. So you want to come somewhere in the center where you feel the pressure of your hip bone into your hands. And that should be where you should have your weight. Now coming up into your ribs, so they should be nice and open. So not too far open that you're pressing your chest forwards. It's just easy enough that it's right on top of your hips, so that it doesn't slouch forwards either. So you want to keep, I always tell my patients and everyone in the classes and these sessions even before, imagine you have two chopsticks trying to keep you upright, but they're not there. They're just imaginary for you to imagine them here. So just keep your ribs right on top of your hips, and the same thing, shoulders on top of your hips. So try and keep that posture whilst you're in sitting, unless we're doing something that I tell you, don't just forget about you keeping up an upright posture. So for the time being, place your hands onto your thighs. Make sure you're still in that nice upright posture. We're going to roll the shoulders for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go forwards for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. And now just hold them nice in position. So you're just smiling through your collarbones. You're going to again keep shoulders on top of the ribs, on top of the hips. Make sure you're not collapsed yet. And we're going to turn your neck. So we're going to turn your neck gently to one side and then we turn it to the other side. Again, we're keeping that nice upright posture and we are not letting go of it. We have 3 more. 2, 1 more. Very good. Now hold in the center, and we're going to start off with a little bit of arms, a little bit of your upper back as well. So we're going to reach the arms up, squeezing up to the top, and then we're going to drop. Reaching arms up, and then drop. Reaching arms up, and then drop. Breathing in as we lift, breathing out as we lower. 2 more. Very good. Every time you lift, just make sure you're not pushing that shoulder, that chest forward, and we're just squeezing through those shoulder blades as we lift. 1 more. Very good. Now we're going to reach the right hand up, and we're going to go into those soldier arms, reaching up and squeeze, reaching up and squeeze. Now with this one, I haven't given you an option to use the weights, but you can use the weights into your hands. So either cans of beans, or if you have very light dumbbells, you can do it all the way with any movement of your arms. If you don't, just keep going for 3, 2, every time you're squeezing those arms and drop. Very good. Roll the shoulders to release any tension that might have built up. Now we're going to go into a bit of a small cat-cow stretch. So what we're going to do is roll the shoulders forwards, creating a big arm with the hands. And this is where it doesn't matter if you collapse a little bit. And then we're going to bring those arms back and lift chest to ceiling. So forwards, create a big arch with your hands and think of separating those shoulder blades And then breathing out, chest to ceiling, squeezing those shoulder blades together. So breathing in, big arms. Breathing out. Breathing in, arms forwards. Breathing out. 2 more, breathing in. Breathing out. 1 more, breathing in. Breathing out. Very good. Now bring your hands across your chest. We're going to do an easy spine twist to follow. So we're going to twist to one side, breathe in. Breathe out. And to start off with, you're going to find that you have a little bit of stiffness to the point that the hips start to want to slide forwards a little bit. So just slowly ease into it and breathe out. And do follow with the breathing. You're trying to breathe in as you rotate, breathing out as you come back. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. We have 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Very good, well done. We're going to drop the arms down now and we're going to follow into your lower back. We're going to do your pelvic tilt, so hands onto your thighs or onto the chair, and we're going to slouch down, thinking of dropping that weight backwards, and then we're going to arch your lower back into forwards. So be thinking of that diamond shape. So you put your thumbs over your belly button and then your hips, your bottom of your hands onto your hip bones, and you create a diamond shape. You're dropping that diamond, your index finger started to come up, and that thumb goes a little bit backwards. And then as you come forwards, your thumb goes forwards. Sometimes you also use the analogy of having a bucket of water or a bowl of water. When you go forwards, you're tilting that water forwards. When you're going backwards, you're tilting the water back. So whichever works for you, as long as you're trying to do the movement from your lower back. Again, any pain through the lower back, ease into it slowly, and you shouldn't get any sharp shooting pain. If you do, stop before that pain. So just work within that range where you can have no pain. So we have 2 more, and arching forwards, 1 more. Very good. Now again, we're stopping in the center, so that weight right on top of your hips, and you have a nice open through your thighs as well. And we're going to focus a little bit into your chest. So we're going to do a bit of breathing, lateral breathing exercises. So a lot of the times we either breathe through our belly or we breathe through our chest. So it's important we learn to breathe also through the sides, and it gives it a bit more mobility. So what you do is a C shape with the thumbs and your rest of your hands, and place it right where your rib cage is. So your waist will be down here, just a little bit higher. You should feel like a springy rib cage underneath your hands. So again, you're going to gently take a breath in through your nose, aiming that breath through your hands. So if you see yourself, your arms start to lift higher, and then breathe out, you slowly sink those hands into your chest with a little bit of pressure, like a springy pressure. Automatically, as you breathe in, it will make it a bit more mobile, and breathe out. So just a bit of pressure as you go in, as you exhale. So inhale and exhale. Inhale into those hands, exhale. Again, breathing in, you don't do any pressure. Breathing out, a tiny bit of pressure. Breathing in. Breathing out, and this should be completely painless. Breathing in, breathing out, and as you go along with the breath and with your repetitions, you will get even easier into your trunk. And then breathe out, 1 more breath in, and then breathe out. Very good. And now relax your hands, and that should release a little bit more tension into your chest. So now we're going to go into a bit more movement, and using the hands by your side, we're going to reach to the side on one hand, so right hand, and then lift the left hand up. And then we're going to come back and we do the opposite, bend and reach. And then come back. And you're going to keep going, bending and reach, Now, if you feel that is a little bit too much and you can't hold the balance, you can do one hand on the thigh, reaching opposite over. Again, one hand on the thigh to make it easier for your balance, or if you have any hands onto the chair, you can hold onto that hand. What you're trying to aim is to open up that side of your waist away from your rib cage. So whilst you're doing this, when you lift the right hand, for example, you want to keep your right hip grounded and still touching the chair, and then come back. I'm used to doing this on the floor, so it's changing everything to saying it on the chair. So reaching up. Because if you lift the hip, so if you're stretching the left and you lift the hip, it won't be stretching or opening the side. So you really want to keep that hip grounded down. And then one last time. Very good. And then come back to the center, roll the shoulders. Make sure your posture is still in the center. If you have any stiffness in the lower back that you want to do a few pelvic tilts, go ahead. Hold it there. You're going to reach the arms forwards. Now we're going to do a little bit of a sequence with the hands. So starting off, arm opening. So right hand nice and straight. Open out and turn your head. So always keep your head and your eye line following your tongue. So you're rotating your head with your tongue. If you have any issues with your inner ear or any balance issues that it causes you to be a little bit dizzy as you turn your head, keep your head forwards and just move your hands and then come back. What could help is doing them in front of a mirror so that you can help normalize your eyesight and your inner ear to focus more on the movement of your hands. But if you can't turn your head, turn it with your hands and then come back and add your breathing. Breathing in as you rotate, breathing out as you come back. We have one more on each hand. So we're thinking of doing about 6 on each side and then drop. Roll the shoulders back. Now we're going to do a bit more rotation. So reach the arms forwards. We're going to bend the elbow now and reach as far as you can and then come back. So think elbow reaching back and then center. So if you drive or even if you're a passenger, think of you trying to reach for something behind you and then coming back. So you have a little bit more rotation than you had with your arm opening. And with this one, you will feel a little bit of your hips trying to move as well. So it doesn't matter, just ease off slowly. Again, if you find your arms getting too tired, just drop them down, give them a roll. But if you are happy to keep going, just finish off one more on each side. Very good, and drop down. Roll the shoulders back. Well done. Right, so before we do the next one, we're going to release a little bit your back into an extension. So you're going to this time shovel your way all the way back onto your seat. Again, keep your feet supported, even if you lift them up a little bit on tiptoes. You should have a little bit of space. Ideally, if you have a chair, it will allow you so that your upper back, where your shoulders are, you are able to extend a bit backwards. But if you don't, grab a pillow. That should be a little bit low. And then that should give you enough that you can extend. The extension is very small, so it doesn't matter if the space is very little. Again, if you have any issues, actually I'm going to keep it like this. If you have any issues with your upper back or any conditions that you shouldn't be doing any extension, please don't do that. So you can just rest for a few minutes until you get over or skip this part. So we're going to place your hands behind your head. So imagine you have a line across your upper back just below your shoulder blades. And you're going to want to take a breath in and just lean a little bit backwards and then breathe out. Breathe in, lean a bit backwards and then breathe out. If you feel that the chair is a little bit too harsh, too solid for you to roll over, or it's creating any pressure onto your spine, create a bit of a padding. So bring in your towel or your throw or wherever you are. Probably if you are in Malta, you have no throws at the moment, fortunately enough. Even south of London, probably better weather. So you put any padding onto the chair, hands underneath your head, and again you're trying to go a little bit over and then come back. Breathing in and breathing out. So a little bit, not too much that you're compensating with your lower back. So it's just a bit of an extension. Everyone is going to be very different, and especially if you've not done these before, you will feel very, very stiff. But every time you do them, it will compensate a little bit more and lets you to extend a bit more. And one more. Very good. So we've released that upper back. So the next one, we're going to go forwards. So this is what we do with the tennis serve. So arms go forwards. Again, ribs right on top of the hips, shoulders nice and straight, that tailbone tucked in, and you're not tucked downwards or arched forwards, you're in the middle. Arms go forwards. You're going to start with the right hand. You're going to reach over and extend a little bit, and then breathe out. Lift and extend a little bit, and then breathe out. So we're imagining that chair that we've just used to roll over a little bit. So it's a little bit of an extension, and then you're coming back. A little bit of an extension, and then you're coming back. You really want to try and avoid overarching through your lower back. So you really want to focus on your upper back. And in this case, if your ribs flare a little bit, it's very normal. You have 3, and then down. 2, and you can rotate your head with each one. 1, very good, and then drop. Roll the shoulders back, very good. Now is the time, if you have any weights, you grab hold of your weights. So we're going to do some arm movements. We're still into sitting. So again, you're going to come a little bit off the chair, so you're not resting your back against the chair. Now obviously this will tend to make you a bit more tired in your posture if you're not used to doing it. But it's a very good way of training your posture not to rely onto any back support and training your tiny intricate muscles around the spine. So again, if you find this a bit too exhausting, just rest for a little bit in between the exercises, and that gives you a bit of relief, especially if you do suffer from chronic back pain. You might want to just break a little bit the video rather than doing it all at once. But if you're okay and you want to come back into doing the exercise, so feet onto the floor, again, ribs on top of your hips, you're not arching your spine, you're gently just tucking it under. And remember those little bits of chopsticks that I always mention. Shoulders back, weights into the hands, and we're going to start off with what we call chicken wings in Pilates. They're not tasty as normal chicken wings, but your elbows are by your waist, you're going to open them out, and then we're going to rotate. And we rotate down, and then we pull in. So it's an open through the elbows, rotate, down, pull in, open, rotate, down, pull in. So we're trying to keep those shoulder blades stuck together. If you hear any crunches into your shoulder, that is normal, as long as you don't get any pain. And thus, I want you to keep remembering what I say with smiling through your collarbone. So you don't want to shoulder roll forward. That looks very weird. You really want to open through those shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together before you start. You open out, open up, roll, come in, open up, roll out, down, come in. And you immediately notice if you're in front of a mirror that one hand will be much stronger and easier to do than the other side. So in my case, you'll notice my right hand is much stronger than the left. It starts to tire out a little bit quicker. One more. Now what we're going to do is roll the shoulders back, hold it. We're going to lift halfway, and we're going to hold it there. And we're going to stay pulsing upwards. So you're thinking about lifting a bit higher, higher, higher. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll down. Very good. Roll the shoulders back. We have the next bit. So again, weights or no weights, they will get your shoulders to work quite a bit. You open out. You're going to rotate. You're going to hold that position, and we're going to press down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we'll hold it. We're going to finish off the arms by reaching overhead and lower. Very good. Reaching over. And you can lower your elbows down to your waist if you want. For 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Very good. And release. Roll the shoulders back. Well done. Put the weight aside. Roll the shoulders back. And we're going to do a few more before we finish off. Roll the shoulders forwards. Very good. So we're going to bring your hands behind your head. And we're going to do a little bit of a spine twist. So we're going to spine, rotate and spiral to one side, and then coming back. Rotate. Now if your hands are a little bit too achy to keep them up here, cross your hands across your chest. Do the same, just as we did before. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. 4, 3, 2, one more. Very good. Now, the next bit, you're going to keep your hands onto the chair or onto your thighs. Ideally not onto your thighs if you manage, but if not, you can as well. We're going to start lifting those legs. So again, ribs on top of your hips, shoulders back, and just make sure you're nice and supported. You're going to lift one leg. Every time you lift, try and not collapse down. So keep that chest posture nice and open, and then drop. You lift the other side and drop. Lift the other and drop. Lift the other and drop. We have 4, 3, 2, one more. Very good. Now I'm just going to move a little bit the camera so you can see me a bit better with the legs. And we're going to add your movement with your chest alongside your hands. So before we were lifting a bit those legs, but now we're going to add a bit the rotation. So again, hands behind your head or onto your chest, however you prefer. So we are going to go left towards your right, and we're staying upright, we're not bending yet, and then we're coming center, opposite, center. Again, we're trying to maintain upright, we're trying not to collapse. Rotating and back. Rotate towards the right and then back. Rotate towards the left and then back. Rotate towards the right, back. Rotate towards the left, back. You have 4, back, 3, back, 2, back, one more. Very good. Now roll your hands and roll your shoulders back. So now we're going to add a little bit of a bend forwards to finish off. Hands behind your head. We're going like edge, so we're going to rotate towards the left. This time as you lift your head, we bend your elbow towards that knee, and then we come upright. So we're going to bend, and then we come upright. So as you rotate, you are bending, and then you come upright. You are bending, and then come upright. And you are bending, and then come upright. So it's a twist and bend, and lift, twist and bend, and lift, twist and bend, and lift. We have 4, and lift, 3, and lift, 2, and lift. One more. Well done. And roll the shoulders back. Very good. Again, at any point where you feel that you cannot because of any limitation into rotation, so for example myself, when I come to rotate towards the left, I feel a little bit more restricted. As long as you don't have pain, you can work on that. So the slow, more repetition and controlled, the more looser you become every time you repeat it. So don't worry if you can't manage everything today. So again, if you do just the rotation on its own and you cannot do the bending, just separate them and then combine them next time round. So this is always something that you can progress to, something that you can get to. So we're going to roll the shoulders. So we're going to finish off by opening now through the hips and a bit of mobility into your chest because we've been sitting now for a long time. So starting off with the back of your legs first. So reach one leg forward, pull that toe towards your chest and then lean towards that leg. So we're trying to open up the back of your leg now. Take a breath in and hold. Breath out. One more. Breath out. Very good. Switch sides. Opposite side, straighten the leg, pull your toes, bend forward. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Very good. Come back up. I'm going to turn the chair so you can see me for the next one. We're a halfway cat and cow. So come forwards with the legs, lean forwards with the hands, and take a breath in. Push the hands into your hands and rotate your head down towards your chest. Create a bit of a C shape with the head in your upper back. And then breathe out. Press your forearms into the thighs and lift the head, chest to ceiling. And then breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. We arch. Breathe out. We extend. Breathe in. We arch. Breathe out. We extend. One more. Breathe in. We arch. Breathe out. We extend. Very good. And now coming up into standing to finish off your stretches, we're going to open up a bit your hips. So again, chair or anything that you need to hold on a little bit better. I'm just going to open a little bit the camera for you. So again, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Push your heel back. And we're going to stretch your right leg. So bend the front knee and keep the back leg nice and straight. So you really want to squeeze your knee and you want to keep that leg nice and straight. So you want to hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back, opposite leg, stretch back, soften the heel, bend the front knee. Again, you want to keep your hips pointing forwards, hold onto that chair, take a breath in, hold, and breathe out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then come back. If you manage, grab hold of 1 foot, stretch open those hips. If you cannot hold onto your leg, you can hold onto your trousers or grab a belt that you can lift your leg up. Take a breathe in and then breathe out. And then switch, lift the leg. Again, you don't need to do this if you're not flexible enough to do it. Don't worry. You can also have a choice to put the foot onto another chair, and that will create a bit still of a stretch on the front of your thigh. And then come back. Very good. Roll the shoulders back. And for a big, big roll down, if you manage, take a breath in, reach the arms up. Breath out, we're going to drop the hands by your side. We're going to roll down, chin to chest, rolling down towards your toes if you can. Again, you don't need to. And then breath out, roll back up. Roll the shoulders and well done. Very good. So again, as I always say, make sure you're safe, make sure you're well hydrated. You don't need to do all of the exercises. You can break it down, you can come back to it. But as long as you keep going, it's a very good thing to just keep going. There are loads of variations and videos now that we have online. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube so that you always get the latest videos uploaded. And if you have any questions, you have all the details below and we keep posting about it. So please feel free to ask us. Thank you and enjoy.